Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and warm welcome to Latvijas Gāze Investor Webinar. Today we are hosted by Inga Āboliņa, member of the Management Board and CFO of the company. During the webinar, you will be introduced to Latvijas Gāze Group's results of 6 months 2021, as well as other key initiatives of the group. Without further ado, I would like to hand it over to Inga Āboliņa. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello to everyone and welcome to our webinar. I'm pleased to explain you some financials of the results of 6 months and give you some brief of possible of the reasons of the results. My name is Inga Āboliņa. I'm a member of the Management Board of Latvijas Gāze and Chief Financial Officer. Yesterday, Latvijas Gāze has published its interim financial results for 6 months, and today I with pleasure will explain you financials and give you some reflection on the possible reasons why we are here where we are. Latvijas Gāze, as well as gas trading business, is very well affected by gas market. Therefore, my agenda comprises of 2 main clauses. One was explanation of or giving you some brief where we see gas market is right now, and giving you some feedback on our results financials. The TTF gas price index has increased dramatically during last months, as that can be seen on the graph on the right side. So no one could imagine that prices would go so high during the summer this year. As typically is well known, the price is set by supply and demand, and that's not the exception also this time. The demand has been increased due to the cold weather conditions in Europe as well in the Asia, and also with a low level of inventories in Europe, as well as the supply has been negatively affected by LNG supply constraints in Europe, since the major part of LNG supply went to Asia, where post-pandemic economy recovery impacted the demand growth for natural gas. Giving some reasons why European storage levels remain below is the same as I mentioned, though. So the LNG deliveries fell during the first half of the injection, as well as the winter-summer spread was very low, which gave no incentive for traders to inject gas in the storages. Another reason might be that Groningen gas field production in Netherlands continued to decline. That all gave the reasons why the injections were lower, and also the Europe storages started the summer season with lower storage capacities as seen in the last 5 years. That could be a reason which also pushed winter price forwards for season 21-22 above 40 euros per megawatt hour. Although this has not been set yet, also winter price is still subject to change, which is mainly because of weather, could be due to monetary policy tightening or some other reasons. Regarding the regional gas market, where we are one of the main players, it's worth mentioning that the market has been extended towards Baltic, also in Finland, which is no secret. Where there is bigger market, there are also more market players, and more market players pushes prices downwards. Another interesting thing which can be observed in the region is that high gas prices, it's very difficult to move towards the customers, and this is and therefore the margins of traders suffers. In such an environment where there is high gas prices and thin margins, we observe that it might bring to a situation where the gas market is consolidated around fewer, bigger market players with strong balance sheet, which could afford high prices and thin margins. This all has affected Latvijas Gāze group results in the first half of 2021. How it looks like. Before I go to financials, I think it's worth mentioning that gas trading market is highly influenced and dependent on the period of gas consumption. In Baltic, typical consumers of natural gas are heat producers for central heating or cogeneration plants for heat production, which is again highly dependent on ambient temperatures. So, notwithstanding the financial results in the summer or in this period, in the first half of the year, the heating season is the one which drives the profitability of trading business. What I want to explain is that the results which we can see in the first half of the year can be absolutely changed and opposite when we finish our financial year because of season when the gas is consumed and when a real trading business is going on. Of course, there are some interesting things which worth mentioning in this half of the year. As mentioned before, we have higher sales price and higher sales volumes because of the colder winter at the beginning of that year, which brings us to the high net turnover. As well as a group's part as a system distribution operator, where due to the higher consumption, also the distribution network were more utilized, such bringing bigger turnover. Thus, it's affected also the gross profit, which is higher than the last year's gross profit for 6 months. However, the net profit in this year is negatively impacted by market-to-market loss of derivatives that are related to future periods. Other words, it is highly affected by re-evaluation of the financial instruments used for risk mitigation, which will be paid back during the selling season. Although, as I mentioned, that the real picture will be seen at the end of the year when the heating season starts, we see that the first half is closed with a good enough gross profit, which is mainly because of the higher sales price and higher sales volumes. Few words about the segments. So Latvijas Gāze Group has 2 main segments. One is distribution segment and another is trading segment. Regarding the distribution segment, which is regulated by Public Utility Commission, in other words, this segment is highly regulated and have the strong tariffs and strong turnover. It's also affected by the colder winter this season, which increased the utilization of distribution network. Distribution segment. Distribution segment also continues its investment program to develop the infrastructure and provide customers with availability to connect to gas system. Regarding the sales and trading segment results, as it's mentioned before, so the cold and prolonged winter increased gas consumption in the region, so the natural gas sales in trading segment only increased by 38%. However, EBITDA is highly affected by the re-evaluation of financial instruments. Latvijas Gāze takes the conservative approach in risk management and uses the financial instruments mitigating its risks in respect of gas price. Since Latvijas Gāze is not using the hedge accounting system, the derivatives are re-evaluated at fair value monthly, which is recognized in profit and loss statements. Thus, it is affecting the results of the 6 months of the year. However, another part of the financial instruments where customers will bring back this loss will come only during the heating season, as I explained before, which is the main trading season. If we look only to the EBITDA excluding the derivative impact, then in the first half of that year, that was 17.7 million euros, which is higher than last year, while derivatives makes this negative impact of minus 21 million, bringing EBITDA to negative figure. Financial instruments are reevaluating monthly and will be reevaluated again when underlying assets are sold. So it's highly dependent also on the final price of underlying assets, which will be matched between both figures. I do hope I have explained the financials of Latvijas Gāze 6 months results. And if you have further questions, please revert to our web pages in Latvijas Gāze, Latvia and Estonian and Finnish web pages. Thank you very much.
Dear Inga, thank you for the presentation. Participants, thank you for joining. Recording of the webinar will be available in the Nasdaq Baltic YouTube channel and also in company's announcements. Until next time.